I had only been gone 10 minutes. The plan was simple. Meet my best friend for coffee, but halfway down the road I realized I'd left my keys on the kitchen counter. With a sigh, I turned the car around, annoyed at myself for being so forgetful. I had no idea that this small, almost meaningless mistake would shatter my world in ways I never imagined. As I pushed the door open quietly, I heard laughter. My first instinct was confusion. I knew my husband, Daniel, wasn't supposed to be home. He had told me earlier he had a late meeting. My stomach tightened as I placed my bag down gently, trying not to make a sound. The laughter drifted from the bedroom, soft but intimate, the kind of laugh you share with someone you feel safe with. My heartbeat quickened. I stepped closer, my heels barely making a sound on the wooden floor. The bedroom door was slightly ajar, and as I neared it, the words I heard froze me to the spot. "She still doesn't know, does she?" A woman's voice whispered. "No," Daniel replied. "And I don't think I can tell her. Not yet. She'd never forgive me if she knew the truth." The room spun. My throat went dry, and my knees felt weak. Every muscle in my body wanted to storm in and demand answers, but fear chained me to the floor. Who was this woman? What truth was he hiding from me? My mind screamed betrayal, but something inside urged me to listen just a little longer. "She deserves to know," the woman continued. "Keeping it from her will only hurt her more when she finds out." Daniel's voice broke slightly. "I know, but how do I tell my wife that I'm the reason her sister left? How do I tell her that I was there the night it happened, that it wasn't an accident the way everyone thinks?" My heart stopped. My sister, Emma. The memory of her sudden disappearance a year ago came crashing back like a wave. We had been told she left town suddenly, no explanation. I had cried for weeks, wondering why she didn't even say goodbye, why she abandoned me when I needed her most. Now, standing in that hallway, I realized Daniel had been carrying a truth darker than anything I could have imagined. I wanted to burst in and scream, but I couldn't breathe. My chest felt heavy, as if the walls themselves were pressing against me. The betrayal wasn't an affair, at least not in the way I had first feared. It was worse. It was deception that had stolen my sister from me. The woman's voice grew firmer. "Daniel, she has a right to know. You can't bury this forever. Secrets like this rot people from the inside." "I'm already rotting," he whispered. A tear slid down my cheek, but I wiped it away quickly. I couldn't let him know I was there. Not yet. I slipped out of the house as quietly as I had entered, my keys forgotten entirely. For days, I carried the weight of what I'd heard. My emotions swung wildly: rage, sorrow, disbelief, grief. I wanted answers from Emma, but she was gone. I wanted to confront Daniel, but I feared the truth might destroy what was left of me. Still, I knew I couldn't stay silent. Silence would eat me alive. One evening, I sat Daniel down. My voice trembled, but my eyes locked onto his. "I know," I said simply. He stiffened instantly, his face draining of color. "I know about Emma. I heard everything." For a long moment, he said nothing. Then, as if a dam had broken, tears spilled down his face. He confessed it all. How Emma had discovered something about his business dealings, something illegal, and threatened to expose him. How he had begged her to stay quiet, and how their argument had led her to pack and leave town in fear. He hadn't cheated, but he had destroyed the bond between sisters with his lies and cowardice. The truth broke me. I couldn't look at him without feeling sick. But amidst the pain, something inside me shifted. I realized I had a choice. I could let his darkness consume me, or I could rise from it and build a life free from lies. I chose the latter. It wasn't easy. I filed for divorce, packed my belongings, and walked away from the house that had once been my safe haven. I sought therapy, not just to heal from Daniel's betrayal but to process the wound of losing my sister. Slowly, piece by piece, I rebuilt myself. Months later, one evening while volunteering at a local shelter, I received a message through social media. It was from Emma. She was alive, living quietly in another state, too afraid to return but desperate to reconnect. My heart swelled with hope. For the first time in years, I felt like maybe the pain had led me to this moment, the chance to hold on to the bond that had been ripped away. When I finally saw her again, we cried for hours, holding each other tightly. I told her everything: how I overheard the truth, how I left Daniel, how I had chosen honesty and healing over staying frozen in fear. And that's what I want anyone listening to understand. Sometimes life shatters us with truths we never asked for. Sometimes betrayal comes in forms we don't expect. But in every wound, there's a choice. You can stay frozen, paralyzed by the pain, or you can move, break free, and write a new chapter. I chose freedom, and in choosing it, I found my sister, I found myself, and I found a strength I never knew existed.